Have you ever watched a gymnast soar through the air or a cheerleader perform a tumble pass and thought, how do they do that without flying off into space or crashing down? The answer isn't just talent or practice, it's physics. Tumbling in gymnastics and cheerleading isn't just about strength and flexibility. It's about using physics and angles to your advantage. Every flip, twist, and spring is powered by forces like gravity, momentum, and angular momentum. Let's flip into the science of tumbling and discover how cheerleaders and gymnasts use angles and physics to defy gravity and make the impossible look easy. First, we need to understand our tumbling angles. In tumbling, the angle your body makes as you push off the floor matters. We call this a tumbling angle, and it has three different types. A positive angle, which your feet are in front of your hips. A neutral angle, your feet are directly underneath your hips. And a negative angle, your feet are behind your hips. Each angle affects the direction, speed, and height of your skill. Think of your body like a seesaw. Shift the fulcrum forward or backward, and it changes how you move. So how does tumbling work? Tumbling is built on these physics principles. Gravity, it pulls you back to the ground after you push off. It's what keeps you tethered to the earth. I always say you want to defy gravity when you're tumbling, and you want to set and tumble away from the ground so you don't crash down. Momentum is your run-up. It is your mass multiplied times your speed that produces power to start your flips. Angular momentum keeps you spinning in the air. Tucking tighter makes you spin faster. Setting with your hips will make you rotate higher. We don't want to counteract our spin by moving our body in the opposite direction. Center of mass is your body's balancing point. It's important to understand where your body's center of mass is so you know how to manipulate your body and at what point you need to be flipping around. Imagine the seesaw example. It is kind of like your fulcrum. For girls, their center of mass is generally around their hips, and for boys, their center of mass is closer to their shoulders. Everybody's unique, so find your own center of mass. Newton's third law states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When you push into the ground, it pushes back, launching you upwards. Same concept with spring floors. If you are tumbling at certain angles, it's going to push you in the opposite way. So the tighter you are, the more aggressive that rebound will be. Now let's break down how this all works in actual tumbling skills. The round-off is your setup skill into the tumbling pass. The round-off can turn forward momentum into backwards power. You want a positive angle here, feet landing slightly in front of your hips to push backward into the next. Newton's third law applies here. If you're pushing into the floor in front of you, you are going to go backwards. You can also land your round-off with your feet positioned underneath or behind your hips. By focusing on blocking through your shoulders, popping off of your hands, and snapping your legs down, you can set yourself up for tucks, layouts, fulls, or Arabians. For a round-off to a back handspring, the round-off creates speed. The back handspring creates that momentum backwards, and to keep going backwards, you need to maintain that positive angle with your feet in front of your hips as you push into the handspring from the round-off. If you find yourself sitting too low entering your back handspring, that will kill your momentum. Stay tight, punch through your toes and legs, not allowing your knees in front of your toes for a more powerful back handspring. If knees move in front of your toes, you are counteracting the momentum you just created from your round-off. If your connections between back handsprings feel choppy, your arms might be too slow when you're swinging them, or your body might be too loose. Make sure you are hitting your body positions with a tight hip drive into your Superman and snapping through into a front support. In a standing back handspring series, the athletes start from a still position with no run-up. This means momentum has to be created using only the arms, legs, and body motion. To keep moving backwards and generating enough power, you need positive angles, which means feet in front of your hips. This also means your feet should push away in front of your hips during the takeoff. So not just the positioning, but the way you are pushing. Falling backwards until your toes start coming off the floor is a good timer that tells you when to jump. Momentum is created by swinging the arms and jumping through the toes. Newton's third law applies here. The harder you push into the floor, the more power it gives back. You also need angular momentum to rotate your body quickly over your hands and back to your feet with a solid hip drive. A round-off back handspring to back tuck needs a negative angle at the takeoff into the tuck, which means feet slightly behind the hips. That'll set you and rotate you upwards and spin you faster. The physics in play here is angular momentum, which helps you in the tuck rotation. The negative angle helps you block when you're punching through your tumbling, meaning you'll go up in your rebound, not backwards. If you find yourself traveling backwards too far, your tumbling angle may be neutral or it may not be negative enough. If you are not rotating enough, then check your arms and your chest in your set. They should be open but not laying backwards. Swing your arms up and drive through your toes, pulling into a tuck candlestick body position as you begin to rotate. When adding layouts and fulls to the round off back handspring, a layout is a backflip with a straight body. A full adds a twist to that. Both need even more rotation and angular momentum. You'll use a negative angle for these two, which means feet behind the hips, to rotate both up and around. The higher the skill level, the deeper the blocking angle you'll need. A strong block and fast arm swing increase your angular momentum. If your full feels slow, try squeezing into your core and twisting earlier. Don't bend your knees in your tumbling, it'll slow you down. If you find yourself over-rotating, check your feet positioning. Are they negative? If they are, then you are actually blocking and rebounding upwards rather than rebounding backwards. If still over-rotating, are you doing a whip into your layout or full? Double fulls are an elite twisting skill requiring huge speed and a strong rotation and perfect timing. Start with a powerful round off and back handspring with the proper angles. At takeoff, you need a sharp negative angle and a super tight core. Center of mass must stay in line. Lean too far, and you will not get the height to be able to twist all the way around. Struggling to complete the twist, work on arm speed and head position. Squeezing your arms in and cross your body will help you pull in tighter. Have your head tucked in, looking into your armpit rather than looking over your shoulder. Punch fronts and front handsprings are forward skills that rely on positive angles, which means feet in front of hip to project the skill going upward and forward. The front bounder is a punch with both feet in front. A punch front needs a positive angle that requires a set with a hip and heel drive into a tuck candlestick position to perform successfully. You can connect a front handspring and a front tuck by having a front handspring that rebounds upwards out of the skill. This is done by having a positive blocking angle. You must be patient into the set of the skill as to not undercut the tuck. With that, your hips need to be upwards and not hinged backwards. Use the momentum after the handspring to punch into a high set. Quick fix tip: not getting height, focus on punching through your toes and swinging your arms faster to the ceiling. Eyes should spot forward during the set, rounding your back and hips upwards. If we punch downwards with our eyes looking down and feet behind us, we will go directly into the ground. If you anticipate the tuck, you'll not get the height that you need. Let's take a look at some specialty skills like Arabians and whips. An Arabian is a half twist into a front flip. This can be performed from a round off or back handspring. For this example, we'll start with a strong round off using a negative angle at takeoff to flip forward after turning. If we are struggling with height and it is low and long, check your blocking angle. Make sure we are setting tall over our block. Be impatient with twisting. Twisting early can cause you to undercut. Try and get your opposite armpit and arm drawing a rainbow into the Arabian. Whether we're flipping backwards or twisting through the air, physics and angles are always working with or against you. The best tumblers know how to control their body position, use their gravity and momentum, and adjust their tumbling angles for each skill. Positive angles when traveling forward are going to drive you upwards, which are great for punch fronts or front handsprings and front handspring front tucks. Conversely, out of round-offs and connecting back handsprings and whips, positive angles will create velocity and speed and momentum backwards. Out of those skills, you can create a negative blocking angle to give you an upward rebound into higher level skills. Negative angles give you height for rotation. And physics? Physics is what makes the magic happen. Put length, speed, momentum, tightness together with proper tumbling angles, and that formula is what gets you power. Next time you watch a gymnastics routine or cheerleading pass, look closely. You'll see a blend of art, athleticism, and science soaring through the air. We encourage you to look into a local tumbling or cheerleading facility and observe the techniques being instructed. The right environment can make all the difference in your athlete's progress. Once you have mastered the back walkover, you have a strong foundation to be moving into back handsprings. Check out our video, Mastering Tumbling Connections, the key to perfecting round-off back handsprings and series back handsprings. Equip your athlete with the education and environment they need to thrive and reach their full potential. Together, let's ensure a positive and productive journey in tumbling.